I'm back from the dead. I am back. Hey, I'm doing this from my computer. Can anybody let me know if you could hear me or not? Let me get that. Let me use that cheap way that people get them thumbs up. If you could hear me, could you put a thumbs up? All right, let's see. All right, good to go. I am. I have been gone a while. Let me tell you. So, am I reading? Somebody said I'm home again. It's been like pretty much. When did I, Andrew? Do you know when I left out? I'm not talking about this little 2-day thing.
June, close to 4th of July.
Yeah, I like left out near the 4th of July. So, and that I was out a month longer than I wanted to be out. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But
yeah, you were out 6 months.
No, I wasn't out
and
6.
And then you came.
Almost. Well, no, I was. I'm talking about this last time I was out.
No, but you didn't let me finish. You were out for almost 6 months, and then you came home at the end of June, beginning, and you left because you were home for grandbaby, and then you left before 4th of July.
Yeah, so it was a lot longer than I wanted, but we're gonna get into that. What's up, little Debbie? Trucker Crespo. Looks like I'm never gonna be able to get that drink from you. So anyway, first of all, I'd like to give a shout out to my driver, Jan. We're going to get into this here in a little bit, but he bought me a little bit of Leopold Brothers bourbon whiskey, so I'm going to try that real quick right here. We'll get into our trials and tribulations on that. But that's not why I haven't been doing videos, even though it has been a little bit of a hard road out there lately. So anyway. You know what? Nice drink, but my son had got me this right here. I think this might be a little bit more, I don't know. This is more along the lines of a whiskey more so than a bourbon. So I have to adjust my taste. Had I known that going in, we'd have been good to go, but it is good. All right, so some of you guys know what I've been going through. Some of you guys touch base with me every now and then, or we talk. But I've been getting so many random people like messaging me, you know, whether it was email or on the app, which I haven't replied to a lot of comments lately, but people I never would have thought would have been reaching out to me, asking me where I was at. Is everything okay? All that kind of stuff. And to be honest with you, it has just been, I have been just wore out. And this last week, I mean, I've been running so hard. I've been getting audited logs and shit like that. As a matter of fact, I know another one's coming up. I didn't even realize that I'm almost near 4,000 miles this week. So maybe not. Well, it depends. But let's just talk about the loads that I know are going to be coming in. So we got 2,100 miles, 21, 22, 23, 24, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So I'm at like 3,800 miles for this week. Plus, there's one that dropped, and I'm not sure if they're going to add that on this payroll or not. If they add that one on, then that's going to be, 4,000 plus. So I'm sure they're going to be auditing me, finding out one time that I didn't go on duty to fuel a reefer 3 gallons or something stupid that they got me on last time. So anyway, what's been going on? Well, Where do I begin? Let me take a look and see what my last video was, because maybe that'll kind of help me pick up where I should, you know, or let me know where I kind of left off at. So, uh, give me just a second. So, the last one I did, I was on my way to Maine. That's right. Okay, so what's been going on is, I've been having some issues with the truck that I'm driving right now. Myra was driving that truck for a while. She was down in Laredo, Texas, and I went down there to switch trucks with her. I figure if there's gonna be anything wrong with the truck, let me take that one. We switched trucks. Everything was kind of fine with that truck, and then Jan, my newest driver, there was like forgot what part of the electronics on that went out. So he was out. So, and things that people don't realize is when you have more than one truck, if a truck goes down and you're driving it, that's a lot different than a truck going down and one of your drivers driving it. Because now I got to pay downtime pay, hotel bills, truck payment. That shit adds up really fast. And we're talking about back to back. So that had happened. So I was just like, you know what? I can't do it. So I'll meet you out there where you're at. And I'm telling my newest driver that, Jan, you can bring me home, and then you can run this truck, and then when the other truck is fine, you can come and pick me back up, and then we'll go pick up your truck. So that's what we did. We teamed for a while. I went and picked him up. We are going to come to Colorado with the intention of him dropping me off and then him running that truck and then going back to his when his was fixed. All of a sudden, I started getting transmission fault codes on this truck. So I was like, all right, you know what? His truck's going to be done. Let's just get a load back out there. Dropped him off at that truck. Everything's been fine, except I'm still having these transmission fault codes, and I think it's just a computer update, but I don't think this dealership in Laredo knew what the fuck they were doing. So we're going to get that handled when I'm out here. First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to both of my drivers in different ways. They have shown me through this process that they do care a little bit more than it just being a business relationship. So I got to give props to both of them for that. Misfit Flat Bitter. She is one of the people that has been going through it about as much as I have recently with some of the issues that she's been having with her Freightliner lately. So we've been kind of going through it. And one of the things I got to say about this is, it's all good when it's going perfect. And one thing I can say about me and her in this situation is neither of us have complained throughout any of this. We've never blamed anybody. We've never done anything. And in the end, it all comes down to me. So anyway, that's what's been going on. So I dropped Jan off. He looks like he's been getting his grind on. We had a little bit of time to bond together while we were teaming for that little brief period of time. And that's really about it. I just haven't been really much in the mood to really post anything lately. Just has been emotionally draining. Not only that I'm having to deal with some of this other stuff that I didn't necessarily think I was going to have to be dealing with, but then I've been running hard myself. And I think that my newest driver, Jan, can attest to the fact that I'm about that life. I'm about that grind when it comes to putting in them hours. So anyway, let's see. Trucking with Angie and Sarah. I just saw you, or I was listening to one of your videos the other day, how you've been doing. wish I could blow these comments up bigger, make this thing a little bit bigger, because as I consume a little bit of this, my vision's getting a little bit blurry. So if I'm just kind of skimming over comments, you gotta apologize to me. Yeah, teaming. Let me tell you right now, I've been debating going back and being a TNT trainer when it comes to this whole teaming thing. When I teamed with my driver, that made me realize that that's not what I want to do. Not because anything other than it's just it's given up a lot of personal space and stuff like that. And I'm just not sure that I'm in a position where I want to do that. What I may do though is I may start doing some PSD training. I need to talk to some of these PSD trainers about how that training process has changed a little bit. I might get into that. All right, let's get back. So I just been going through it, guys. That's pretty much it. And I've been on Facebook a little bit. That's another reason, I just kind of got in a little bit of a negative mind space, to be honest with you. And that's, looking at some of these Facebook comments, and I'm just like, I want to reply so bad, but I just can't. And just some of the stuff that's going on in some of these little prime Facebook groups, it actually makes me dumber reading some of these posts that are on there. Let's see. Trent asked me if I ordered my new truck. Yes, I did. And that's another thing I've been just getting hit upside the head financially. It's just like back and forth. So in the midst of all this going on, then I did order a truck, and that was, I think, $8,000 that I put down on when I ordered that truck. I decided not to break it up into different payments or whatever they're doing. So that truck's supposed to be here in November. And I don't call it a mini fleet. I just call it me having a few trucks out on the road. To me, calling it a fleet almost makes me, I hate the sound of that. I hate calling it a fleet. I hate anything that revolves around the word fleet. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if I'm going to add a driver or if I'm just going to keep it small and contained. It's not my goal to have a bunch of drivers. I mean, if it organically happens, like if somebody comes and says, because I will tell people, okay, I may be looking for a driver, but I'm not going to necessarily be pushing it per se. Yeah. What's up, Ross? I saw a post of you. So you were somewhere where I knew I didn't want to be, but you were taking a plane flight home or something like that. But anyway, so I may be looking for another driver, but I'm not sure what the situation is going to be on that. And you're exactly right in regards to finding a good driver than just to fill a seat. Because there's a bunch of different components to that. I don't just want a driver that's going to be safe. I want a driver that's going to look at things, that's just not there. I'm not looking for a short-term solution. So having a revolving door of drivers is worse than not having any drivers at all. Or if anybody's out there, causing issues with claims or accidents, stuff like that. What's up, Lenny? How you doing there? I'm sure you're in Springfield or just left Springfield or something like that. So anyway, that's the gig. Definitely don't want to just have any driver in there. I want somebody that may be looking for something a little bit longer term. Or if I know it's a short-term situation, then that's one thing. But I just don't want somebody to be there looking for the next best thing. So kind of bourbon. If this was more of a bourbon than a whiskey, I'd drink this without ice. But being more of a whiskey than a bourbon, I'm gonna need to chill this down just a little bit. Andrea, did you grab one of that gray ice thing? Love you, baby.
Love you. A frozen one?
They should all be frozen, but yeah.
Oh, there's the brown ones are for the
He might have filled them.
Do you want me to run water over it?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Guess I hadn't seen you actually open them. Oh, nice.
Well, this is only half the.
Was it filled all the way? Or maybe it got spilled before it froze.
Thank you.
Is that a skull?
Yeah, but that's been a piece of shit. The round one's better.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, my goal is not to be out this long next time. But like I said, that hasn't been my goal ever. But you got to do what you got to do.
Ever, it just always happens.
It is what it is. It's business. So you're in Vegas, man. I just left Utah, right? It wasn't snowing up there where I was at, but people were sending me pictures of snow in Utah, and I was up in Logan, Utah, and it was just raining all weekend. Or raining that couple days when I was up there, and my fleet manager, I've been having problems with my truck throwing these transmission fault codes, right? So I'm up here getting loaded in Logan, Utah. Now, I dropped off in Hershey. I wanted to do as little driving as possible, and I didn't want to take this load to Utah, but it was over a holiday weekend, and I was like, you know what, I'll do my fleet manager a favor, all that. So these faults have been happening a little bit more frequently. And I mean, when it's a fault, it'll throw a fault, and then I got to pull over to the side of the road, either recycle the key like 6 times, shut it down, or whatever. The problem is you don't always have a shoulder to do this on. So it's stressful when your entire drive is looking ahead to where you're going to be able to pull over and handle this situation. So this has been going on. I dropped my load at Hershey. I'm like, great. My next load's in Logan. I'll drop here, get my trailer, go get a washout like a few miles away, head right up to Logan, even though I don't pick up till the next day, and just chill out up there. Well, they didn't have a trailer down there, so I had to go all the way down into Salt Lake City, turn right back around, go all the way up to Logan. Cool. So I chill out up at that Maverick, right outside of, if you guys have been to Hiram, Utah, there's that Maverick on 91 or 89 up there. So I'm just chilling out up there. Next morning, go check in to go pick up the load, and I get a message from my fleet manager asking me if I wanted to give a driver a ride to Cheyenne. And I've been dealing with all this shit with this truck. Had the driver been at my 01 and just been like, okay, you just hop in and we'll ride, that's one thing. But I'm not gonna leave my 01 in Logan, Utah, drive all the way down to the terminal, add more miles to it, and go down into a city that's busy. I mean, I live in Denver, right? So my delivery was in Denver. I got out to my delivery. I could have been out to my delivery 24 hours early, came home, done all that, went back, dropped off the load. The problem is I didn't want to drive this truck with these faults going on into Denver during the daytime. So I stopped short, waited till like midnight, came into Denver around 3 a.m, just because I've been a little bit afraid of what's going on with that truck. What's going on, Mega Fred Zeppelin? One of the hangovers from my barbecue cooking channel enduring a slow, steady death. Man, I want to do a barbecue video, but I just can't. I mean, I wouldn't even know how to actually operate the equipment anymore to do a cooking video. That's a shame. I don't even know where some of the stuff's at.
I say we do on Sunday.
If I'm cooking in here. I'm not cooking out there.
Well, then we'll cook out there.
Okay, well, make sure
in
you.
here, but you're cooking something.
There's no reason to do it out there with all them. I'm not messing with them wasps. Forget that. All right. Anyway, Ontario, California. What's up? It's the transmission fault codes. I had this with my first Peterbilt, the one that was I just did a regular lease on it, and all it was a computer update on that thing. And for some reason, I don't think that they've been doing everything but that. And I'm just like, why haven't you tried this yet? It's just irritating. I've tried it when it was driving, and I was just like, or tried to reset that transmission fault when I'm driving, and I just if that was the last resort, I would do that. But that would have to be the last resort, like I was in a construction zone or something like that. The shift stock has been changed on this truck twice, so I don't think it's that. So that's kind of what's going on. It's just good to see, two of these other trucks out there on the road at the same time. I know that Jan's about to take some time off for a wedding or something like that, but it hasn't been that common for all three of these, or any combination, two of the three of the trucks to be running for any substantial period of time. So one thing I like to say is this is one of those situations where it can only get better. Because if I was to be bitching like some of these people in these prime groups, I probably had it worse than just about anybody. But I realize sometimes you got to go through some shit. Thank you.
You're welcome, baby.
But I did see something today on Facebook. A driver had picked up a drop and hook, loaded trailer, sealed, all that stuff, got to the 90. The stuff had tipped over, but it wasn't driver error. It was packed all the way to the back, so you almost couldn't get load locks in there. And one of the things that the fleet manager, and I have to say, I know this was my fleet manager, was, why didn't you have them open up the doors and put load locks in? Some of the stupid shit that these people ask us to do is just beyond me. How much extra time would you waste having somebody either at the back end of the deal or the front end of the deal? Could you open this up so I could either put my load locks in or put my load locks out? Oh, and now you gotta, if I'm at the 01, you gotta put another seal on and do it. They ain't going for that shit. How many times you gonna be on a dock? I mean, some of this stuff is ridiculous. Like, even saying it is one of those things where they say, how do you tell me you've never driven a truck without telling me you haven't driven a truck?
That sauce is the sauce that came with them. If you want more, here's another pouch. I just
That's
don't
gonna be more
want
than
to.
enough.
That's more than enough. Okay.
I don't know if that's enough of them little things, though.
Huh?
I don't know if that's enough of these, though.
What?
I don't know if that's enough of these, though.
That's what that's for. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's enough of these.
For that sauce.
No, just in general.
Oh, you mean, are you saying, baby, can you cook me some more?
If you wanted to.
Okay, that's what see how he says, baby, can you cook me some more?
Yeah. Could you cook me some more, please?
I just cooked up enough. I filled the bottom of the pan, so I'll cook some more.
Hate to be eaten. All right.
After I eat mine.
Yeah, Lenny, see, one thing I think that people don't realize, and I think finally, just in conversations with my driver while we were teaming, is I don't have fun on the road. It is 100% business. 100%. So, and I think that even caught him off guard a little bit. Like, when I say that that's what it's about, that's what it's about. I'm not stopping and taking pictures. I'm not stopping and, getting an Uber, going nowhere. I'm not, it's straight 10 hours. It's not 8 hours of drive shift. It's not 5 hours. It's not 8.5. So you never run out of hours. That myth that everybody wants to keep believing. It's like literally 10 hours, 10 and a half hours, shut down, 10 and a half hours, shut down. It's that repetitious. Keith is asking about some rectum facing cameras, that they haven't brought that up lately. I think that they're still thinking about that. One thing I'm gonna say is they caught me at a period of time when I'm a little vulnerable. Had it been me, myself, in one truck, and it was these cameras, I would probably choose a different place. That's 100% real. And it would be different if everybody, I don't even want to get into that because I'm gonna make myself mad talking about that. So I don't want to get into the driver facing camera. Cooking with CJ. What's going on, man? I saw a video you just put out a little while back, maybe a few days ago. I think I'm out of that, man. I couldn't even do a video if I wanted to. I wouldn't even know how to operate a camera, how to edit anything, how to do any of that stuff on the cooking side. But it's good to see all you guys over there making it happen, whether it's TV shows, whatnot, just larger audiences, everything. Man, these are some good things right here. These aren't the same ones that you made the last time, were they? No, you put some extra in. They taste better.
I cooked them different. I didn't cook them until they were brown. And this next batch is getting cooked different again.
Maybe sprinkle some salt on it.
What?
Sprinkle some salt on it.
No, there's salty enough. Just move the salt. That's all. Salt's fine.
YouTube full time. That's a good gig right there. And I'm sure doing that cooking channel full time is a lot less stressful than that mortgage industry. And I will tell you, those of you guys that know, part of the reasons I got out of the mortgage industry was all that stress. And I will tell you that the last 6 months in this has been almost that much stress. So this has got to end. The stress in this has got to go.
Is 6 more enough?
How many was this?
That was 6, baby.
Yeah.
That's why I asked for 6 more.
Well, you could have given me.
Okay, anyway, so it's 6, it's 6 and 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So CJ got laid out, forced to jump full time into YouTube. All right. What are my thoughts on Michelle Obama possibly? That is about the dumbest shit right there ever. But mortgage industry is a mess right now. I know people that are actually having some of their best years right now. So I guess it all depends on how you reacted to it. Those are delicious. Hey, CJ, what city do you live in? I forgot. Rancho Cucamonga. I make it out there every now and then. I'll usually be hanging down there in Ontario. But to be honest with you, California is not my favorite place to go in terms of traffic and stuff like that. So anyway, I really just wanted to come on here just for a brief moment, just to let everybody know I wasn't dead. I mean, I had people that I never, ever would have thought asking me what's going on. So I got to get my driver's license updated. I got to get this truck in the shop. I'm trying to get everything packed up so I'm ready to go early so I don't have to stress out about it later. I don't know if I'm going to be here another week or if it's going to be 2 weeks or however long it's going to be. Oh yeah, I forgot. I did get the email. Hold on a second. Let me share this email with some of these people because somebody told me that this was never going to happen either. So I just wanted to share this email with a few people. Let's see. Hello. Your truck will be paid off after 9/22. You will have your last full payment on that date, then the balloon payment of $100 the next payment. Anyway, yada, yada, yada. Let us know if you want to buy an extended warranty. You will no longer have a truck payment. Yay! But the truck title will be made out to who we are contracted with. Blah. Anyway, so boom, 2 more weeks or so, that thing will be paid off. So that frees up an extra $50,000 a year right there. So that really, and I'm sure that there's going to be some more issues with the truck, but like I said, in a better market, I would be selling that truck right now. But it's not that kind of market right now. So Jared Red, first year prime, wanted to pick my brain. I have my email address and almost all my videos. So if you email me there, then send me your number. I give you a call and we could talk about whatever you got to talk about. But lately, the only thing I got to be talking about is some pain. Okay, Michael, how are my other 2 trucks doing? Well, the newest truck just had like a ECM or something that needed to get replaced. So that was down a little bit. So when it's good, it's good. I'm not complaining about the market. The market's been fine as far as I've been concerned. It's been things outside of the market that haven't been working in my favor lately. But Nothing lasts forever, so I'm just looking. And you know what? I took this year knowing it was going to be as bad as it was to add an extra truck, uh, to kind of focus more on the long term stuff than the short term thing. It'd be easy for me to say, you know what, I'm not making any money right now, or not much money right now. Let me hold off and do this stuff when things get better. And you know what? I want to be positioned right when things get better. I want to make the moves now rather than just waiting for it to be just perfect, you know? So, or things are fine now. I'm saying financially, things like that. Shamarcus, you don't owe me a return phone call. You were asking me to call you, so I called you. You know? So yeah, Shamarcus is really grinding. He has, I don't know how many trucks he has on at Prime. Plus he's got all kinds of other outside stuff going on. So, you know, he's in that grinding mode of life. I'm a little bit older. I'm just trying to get like one last hurrah before I shut it down. And then maybe I'll go into the, you know, YouTube cooking space full time or something like that. Because I don't have the energy to do these YouTube videos like these trucking channels where they're out there walking. To me, I just look foolish walking around like this with a bunch of people looking at me. So I just tend to do my shit just in my truck. I know it's not really all that entertaining, but I just can't do the other stuff. I can't do the exciting stuff people want. I have a GoPro that I haven't even turned on. All right. So not buying 10 more trucks now that they opened up. Well, I was never going to get no 10 trucks in the first place. As a matter of fact, I may not even fill the next I mean, I'm going to fill the next new truck that comes in, but I'm not interested in growing unless it's like the perfect situation. I would much rather sit that truck and not do anything with it, sell it even if the market's not as strong, but just growing to grow. That is a big dick swinging contest right there that I'm really not interested in. If it makes sense, I'll do it, but I'm not. That's not my goal. Shamarcus, I'm gonna tell you what. I can't even remember the last time I've had a positive paycheck. To be honest with you, it's been at least. I couldn't even remember. And it's times like this I look at it and I say, you know what? I'm glad that I live very frugally. I'm glad I had a little bit of money set aside. I'm glad that, you know, I am where I am because this could have knocked a lot of people out if they wouldn't have had it. I mean, and I've just been talking about the trucks in the shop, but as soon as the trucks come out the shop, you know, I just put $3,500 into the truck I'm driving now that Myra was driving for new brakes, you know, all that kind of shit. Then that truck goes down. She's down in Laredo for 2 weeks in a hotel, 2 week hotel bill, 2 weeks, you know, pay and all that kind of stuff. Then recover from that, boom, replace the tire. So that's I didn't even, you know, at this point, I'm not even looking at bills anymore. Let's just assume that was $800 to $1,000 right there. So it's just like every time I turn around, I'm getting hit upside the head. And all I know is once this turns around, it's going to be good. You know, I could sit here and worry, you know, focus about, oh, you know, this is poor me. I see this shit on Facebook all the time. You know, all this whining and shit going on. I'm just not built to be whining like that. Because no matter what happens, it all comes down to me. The buck stops here. I can't blame anybody but myself, even if it's for the mere fact of just getting into this business. So anyway, enough about that. Okay, let's see. So my driver, Jan, just said he rejected a load over 24-hour wait from O1 to pick up, going from Tennessee to Georgia. You know what? That's what they get right there. You know, I'm not micromanaging them. If they want to load, take a load. If they don't want to do it, don't do it. I'm not micromanaging anybody. And he said hello for everybody. Or hello to everybody. All right. So anyway, that's what's been going on. The next truck, if I had mentioned, supposed to be in sometime in February. Or excuse me, November. I don't know why I was thinking February.
Last time the other truck was February.
So November is supposed to be coming in. Michael, I do try to take care of my people as best as possible. I mean, honestly, I really do. And that's not just a one-way street. I've had just this last few months, I've had situations where, you know, I'm not necessarily going to, where they have shown that they understand what I'm going through and that I'm doing more than, you know, because when I'm paying them and all that kind of stuff, it is more than what Prime is paying for their, you know, if their trucks, if they were on breakdown pay or anything like that. And, you know, there's just been times that or ways that they've shown me that they understand what I'm going through. And for that, I'm appreciative and try to be as good to them as I can for that alone. Because it's been painful. Papa Larry's Barbecue. Man, there are a lot of people from my cooking days coming back in here. What's going on? I really do miss that. You know, I really do miss that cooking community a lot. Man, Mike at Everyday Barbecue, he's one of those people, you know, I met a few people in that cooking space. Everyday Barbecue is one of the guys that I went and hung out at his house for a few days out in Rockford, Illinois. And that was a good time. And we used to really talk almost every day every day in the morning. And now my schedule's so jacked up that I can't really and plus all these guys are kind of like, you know, I don't know who I could talk to and who I can't now because they're over there blowing up. Let's see. Little Debbie, Trucker Little Debbie, listen, I got the truck waiting for you. And I know that, you know, you've kind of been thinking about it for a few years and stuff like that, but you know, what if we were to let you put your own logo on the truck? Would that push you over the edge? No, I'm joking. Anyway, I am eating, she made some pot stickers. So, yeah. So anyway, for you guys just came in, my driver Janet bought me this. We came to Colorado. He was going to be dropping me off at my truck and he was going to be running that truck for a while. Anyway, his truck was going to be finished, and we decided to take off about, I don't know, it's 2.5 days, something like that. So I just told him, you know what, you could use my personal truck. Just go ahead and have fun. I didn't want to have fun because if I'm at home and I'm not home to really be home, I can't get in home mode. I can't even go out and like relax like that. So I just told him, you know, just go out, have fun, whatever. So when he was out, I guess he met a friend of his, and anyway, I don't know if they know the people that own this place or something along those lines, but he brought this bottle back, and it's been sitting here since then. So it was my first chance to get to it. Like I said, a little bit more whiskey than I was thinking. You know, it says straight bourbon whiskey, but it's more of a whiskey than a bourbon, which really kind of, after drinking a little bit of this, you can really drastically tell the difference between it. The proof on this one, both of these are kind of lower proofs. This one is, this one doesn't say the proof on it, but it says 45% alcohol, so that's going to be 90 proof.
This time I tried browning first, then steaming, so I don't know.
They actually look better. And this one says it's 42%, so, or 42% alcohol, so 82 proof or something. So the lower proofs, which is normally I'm getting in them hundreds and stuff. So it's actually a nice little change not to be having something burning quite that hard. Part-time trucking retired. Hello from Vancouver Island, Canada. Too much snow up there. I'm really kind of a particular kind of a driver. I don't really try to be messing around with, well, I guess I don't know the terrain of Canada. I don't mind snow, but I'm not a huge fan of getting out there having to worry about even thinking about putting chains on. So around October, kind of that's when I'm like the United States Air Force over Iraq. I got some no-fly zones. Man, these things are delicious. Yeah. I would think there's more ice up in Canada than there is down here, but I don't know. One thing I've been thinking about, and I want to tell anybody that's driving with me or anybody that's going to listen, I am not trying to mess around in bad weather out here. I've just seen recently, as a matter of fact, they just sent me some messages. I need to read them. I think I was asleep. I've just seen too many people get in situations where they were, let's just call it, essentially fired for getting in accidents or whatever in bad weather, and they can always use that and this isn't just with Prime, but I am talking about certain situations with Prime, because they could always use there's always an excuse that they could say that you shouldn't have been driving. Well, why were you driving? There was a chain law. Why were you driving? There was a sign up that said closed to high profile vehicles. Why were you driving? They could always pull out something. And I don't even want to get into the whole leadership at Prime not really driving in the last, recent years and being able to throw their 2 cents in on it, but I got a problem with that too. Yeah, it is always the driver's fault, and that is the one thing I cannot stand about this industry is the leadership in this industry. A lot of times is not coming from the driver ranks. And I don't know if this is because they think drivers are too stupid to fulfill some of these jobs, which may or may not be true. I don't know. But to have so many people out there able to critique your driving that haven't been any closer to driving a truck than their personal vehicle, I don't get. Well, let's see. Dang, somebody remembers some stuff. 10-count stories. I can't believe you still remember that whole Villages thing. Still retiring to the Villages, Florida. You know what? I wouldn't say no, I wouldn't say yes, but the pickings have been so slim that any of those thoughts or anything like that's going to have to pick up once business resumes back to a more appropriate level. Right now, it's more or less just trying to hang on.
And your wife's got to want to, otherwise we live separate.
Well, your parents live there, so I wouldn't have figured that you wouldn't have. So
I'm just not a fan of Florida.
Yeah, my wife's not a fan of Florida, so maybe not. I mean, it was more of a investment type of a situation than it was an actual living thing, because I don't know if I could deal with all that damn heat they got down there.
Humidity, bugs.
Plus, my wife has baby on the brain.
Grandbaby.
I know, but it's the same thing. So we just had a grandson, so there's no difference between having a grandson and just having a son with as much shit that's going on around here. Okay, listen, if you know me, you know I'm kind of frugal when it comes to spending money. Why do we have to have a stroller dedicated to this house? Don't most motherfuckers say, you know what? I'm coming over. Let me bring over my shit for you to have. So what do we got to like once he's able to fucking walk, then what happens with the stroller? Just curious.
Oh, are you talking to me? I just thought that was a rhetorical question.
Well, it was both.
Okay. Then I don't need to answer.
So anyway.
There's still walks and zoos and stuff like that where he'll get too tired and he'll need to, ride.
But why do we need to have a stroller here too? And a little playpen or whatever the fucking thing that thing is called.
Yep.
Don't have no grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Craig, I don't know why you didn't. Craig says I need to refill that glass. Have one on me. I'm trying to get through this whiskey right quick and get back on this bourbon. Whiskey is something I need to like have prepared my mind for beforehand. And I don't have anywhere to put this ice cube, so I'm gonna just pour this over the ice. Normally, bourbon I would be no ice. Simple Plan Trucking, what's up? I think you're more of a outskirts type of a person than actually retiring to the villages. Out there making your own clothes and shit. What's up, man? I'm having a hard time reading some of these comments because yeah, I know Simple Plan Trucking is joking around about retiring in the villages. Out there dehydrating food, making your own bullets, and all that kind of stuff. That's not normal village type stuff. Yeah, this is how I do it over here. Really, this was just an emergency live video because people were actually almost damn near thinking that Prime should put out a statement on where I've been. I was literally getting messages from people like maybe even a couple times a day asking me if I was all right, if I was still Prime, what's going on. Yeah, Lenny, I don't think that where her parents live, the HOA fees are that crazy. But there's some places I drove around in this country that I never would have thought that I would have kind of liked that I kind of like. Like I never would have thought that I would have been fucking with Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, not like Memphis and all that. Or West, all that. I'm just talking about like further away. So Lenny, how was the picnic? I know you made the picnic. I would even have thought about not necessarily being there full time, but Springfield. But there's a little bit too much of a history there that, some of that Southern Missouri stuff that I'm not sure. And you know what I just found out? You don't get no lease completion dinner for no ace lease. So I get richer than that. I don't get none of the dinner. I don't get none of the little duffel bags, none of that shit. Now, how are you not going to let an ace lease purchase driver get a lease completion, or not a bonus, but the dinner? Why can't we get the dinner? Can anybody, Lenny, can you make this make sense for me or to me? Yeah, these things were delicious. Anyway. Nobody missed me because I've never been to any of them picnics. As a matter of fact, I was there for the last picnic, but I just drove to the terminal, dropped my trailer, drove over to the campus inn, parked, and went to sleep. I was too tired to be messing with the picnic that time. So anyway, that's about it. I could go on and on and on. To wrap this up, for those of you guys that haven't been here that long, I haven't. Just gonna recap for those people that haven't been here since the beginning. I've been gone a while just because I've been kind of going through it a little bit lately. Not necessarily from a. I mean, I've been going through it, but it hasn't been a hiding type thing. I've just been emotionally drained with what's going on. Plus, I've been running my ass off. Like probably I got audited by logs 2 times in 3 weeks recently because I did over 3,500 miles in a week. And then I just had another one that was definitely going to get audited. It's like 4,000 or 3,800 or something this week. So I just been busy. That's mainly the reason I haven't been here. I was teaming with one of my drivers for, I don't even remember how long that was, but maybe a week or so with him. So so I was teaming with him, so really wasn't in the mindset to be doing that. And then that's kind of been it. So there's that.
Come here, Penny.
2 weeks away from paying off the first truck, so that's good. And possibly looking for a driver in November, but have to really be a perfect driver. I really don't even want to put that out there yet because I don't want anybody to. I really don't want to talk to anybody about it until I'm know if I'm ready or not. That's about it. Just in short. So this is more of a proof of life video than it was really a video. Let's see. And I'm about to get off here, but we actually had more fun at the driver completion than the picnic. Yes, simple plan trucking. So enjoy that one because when you pay off your lease purchases coming in, you don't get a lease completion dinner for that one. So I hope you enjoyed that dinner because I would have enjoyed it too. As a matter of fact, the only reason I would have, well, let me not even say that because let me just retract that statement right there. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, Debbie, again, before you go, let's see. Can I have? Okay, Debbie, if it's going to take the grandbaby to ride, if it's going to take the grandbaby to ride with you for you to get in that truck, then we can make that happen. So you in or out?
You don't need to answer now. What the fuck?
Anyway, I'm about to get off here. I appreciate everybody stopping by. I'm going to get it back here into relaxing mode. I'm going to probably run up here and get this driver's license handled tomorrow. And that's about it. Again, I appreciate you stopping by. Oh, once you do a lease purchase, how long do you have to wait for the next one? There is no wait time anymore. You could order multiple lease trucks as long as you got the money, they got the truck. Anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I know He'd Be Trucking Transportation. As always, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.